Yo, this is Mr. O. Yo, this is Mr. O. And today we're going to learn about solving and factoring polynomials. So when you're solving a polynomial, you have to find a way for it to be factored. And for you to factor a polynomial, you need to be able to use factor by grouping, difference of two squares, sum of cubes, so many ways of way to factor. So let's start now here. So for number one, 3x plus 1 times the quantity x minus 4. These are already in factored form. So if they're in factored form, you're going to use a zero factor property by splitting them into 3x plus 1 and set them equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0. Again, you're going to solve for the x here because you're solving minus 1 minus 1. 3x equals negative 1. Divide by 3, divide by 3. So therefore, x equal to negative 1/3. And here you're going to add 4 here, add 4, x equal to 4. So therefore, the answer are negative 1/3 and 4. Again, one more time, this problem here, number 2, x times the quantity x minus 5 times the quantity 5x minus 2. This is already in factored form, and we're going to set them equal to 0, x equal to 0, x minus 5 is equal to 0, and 5x minus 2 is equal to 0. X by itself here, so that's the answer already. X equals 0. Here you still have to add 5 here. Cross it out. X equal to 0 plus 5 is 5. So the answer is 5. Plus 2 here, plus 2 there. 5x equal to 2. Divided by 5, divided by 5. X equal to 2/5. There you go. So the answers are 0, 5, and 2/5. X squared plus 3x minus 40. Here you will apply the baby factoring wherein the leading coefficient has equal to 1. So therefore this is x. That's x because x times x squared. Now we have to think of two numbers. When you multiply them, gives you negative 40. When you add them, gives you a 3. The answer are 8 and 5. And this is the positive. That's negative. Drop the equal 0. Now we can do like what we did in the first two problems. We're going to apply the zero factor property. X plus 8 is equal to 0. X minus 5 is equal to 0. Minus 8 minus 8. X equal to negative 8. Plus 5 here, plus 5 there, x equal to 5. And that's the answer. Kaboom. This time we have 3x squared plus x minus 2. We cannot apply baby factoring, but we can do the big boy factoring by multiplying 3 to the negative 2. That gives us x squared plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. Now we can apply the baby factoring here. This will give you x and x. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you negative 6. When you add them, gives you a 1. The answer is going to be 3 and 2. This will be positive and that's negative. So positive 3, negative 2. Since you multiply the 3 to the 2, you're going to divide it by 3, divide by 3. So this will give you x plus 1, 3x minus 2, because you cannot simplify 2/3 anymore, equals 0. Then from here, you're going to apply the zero factor property. X plus 1 is equal to 0, minus 1 minus 1. So therefore, x equal to negative 1 here. And the other one here, 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. Plus 2 here, plus 2 there. 3x equal to 2. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X equal to 2/3. And that's another value for x, okay? Next, difference of 2 squared, 16x squared minus 9. They're both perfect square number. Perfect square are the 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 because you're multiplying a number by itself, a positive number, to get the perfect number, which like here, 4 times 4 is 16, 3 times 3 is going to be 9. So what's the rule here? Square of 16 is going to be 4. So I'm going to have a 4 here. And x squared will be 4x and 4x there. 9 will be a 3 and a 3 there, but then will be positive and negative. Okay, and set it equal to 0. 4x plus 3 is equal to 0. So for the x, minus 3 there, minus 3. 4x equal to negative 3 divided by 4 divided by 4. X equal to negative 3/4. Add 3 here, add 3 there. That will give us 4x equal to 3. Divide by 4 again, divide by 4. X equal to positive 3/4. And those are your x values. Okay. Now, we're given here 5x cubed plus 43x squared plus 24x. All of them have greatest common factor, which here they all have factorable by x. So I need to factor out the x and divide them all by x to get that out. 43x plus 24 is equal to 0. Now we can factor them by big boy factoring. 5 times 24 was 5 times 24 is 120. Yes. So this will be x squared plus 43x plus 120 is equal to 0. Now we can do baby factoring here. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you 120. When you add them, gives you 43. That's going to be 40 and 3 plus 40 and plus 3 is equal to 0. Do not forget that you multiply 5 to the 24, so you have to put it back by dividing it by 5 here. That will give you x plus 8, 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. So it's already in a factored form, so the answers are x equal to 0, x equal to negative 8, x equal to negative 3/5. Kaboom. 7. Now you have x cubed minus 2x squared minus 5x plus 10. You have 4 terms here. If you have 4 terms, as a hint that you might need to use factor by grouping. Factor by grouping is splitting them into 2 groups. And I'm going to focus on the first 2 here, wherein the common them is x squared. And I'm going to divide them by x squared here, and what will I have on the parenthesis and the quantity will be x minus 2. And this should be also x minus 2. Let's see if we can get the x minus 2 out of negative 5x plus 10. What will be the invisible number? What's a mystery number here? I mean, when you distribute to the x minus 2, you will get negative 5x plus 10. On this case, it's going to be negative 5. Negative 5 times x, negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. So we are right there. So now we're going to combine the similar one. This x minus 2 and x minus 2 are the same. So I just have to write x minus 2 there. And the x squared minus 5 will just be another quantity or another factor. Now they're already in factored form, so we're going to solve it. So this will give us x minus 2 is equal to 0. So therefore, x equal to 2. X squared minus 5 is equal to 0. Plus 5 here, plus 5 there. X squared is equal to 5. Take the square root, take the square root. So the answer are x equal to plus or minus square root of 5. So there you go. I have plus or minus square root of 5 and a 2 are my x values here. Okay. Next, higher degrees. X to the fourth minus 7x squared minus 18 is equal to 0. Again, we set u to be x squared and we let u squared to be the x to the fourth. So now we make our problem u squared minus 7u minus 18 is equal to 0. What two numbers, when you multiply them, gives you a negative 18? When you add them, will give you negative 7. The answer is negative 9 plus 2. Negative 9 plus 2 will give you a negative 18. When you add them, it will give you negative 7. And then I will replace this back. It will be now x squared minus 9. X squared plus 2 is equal to 0. Now we know that we can still factor this portion here. This difference of 2 squares, x plus 3 minus 3. How did I know that one? Because a square root of 1 is 1. A square root of 9 is 3. So it's a perfect square number. So I break it down, and then this will be x squared plus 2 is equal to 0. Again, applying the zero factor property, I'll have here x equal to 3, x equal to negative 3 from this 2 quantity. And this one here, x squared plus 2 is equal to 0. I'm going to move the 2 to the other side. That will give you x squared equals negative 2. Take the square of that one, take the square of that one. And if you remember, that if every time you have a negative inside the square root, there should be a plus or minus I in the square root of 2. So therefore, the answers are 3, negative 3, plus I square root of 2, and negative I square root of 2. Next, 9x to the fourth minus 30x squared plus 25. Again, this is a higher degree, so I'm going to make the u as x squared, and u squared is equal to x to the fourth. 9u squared minus 30u plus 25 is equal to 0. If you notice, this is a perfect square trinomial because 9 and 5 are both perfect square. So I know that this will be 3u, 3u, because 3u times 3u is 9u squared. And 25 is a perfect square, which is a 5 and a 5. So this is positive and that's negative. Then we can replace back the u by x squared. That will give us 3x squared plus 5 is equal to 0. And 3x squared minus 5 is equal to 0. Now solve them by using zero factor property. 3x squared plus 5 is equal to 0. So minus 5 there will give me 3x squared equals negative 5. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Take the square root of that. That will give us an I square root of 5 over square root of 3. Remember, guys, that we cannot have a square root in the denominator, so we have to rationalize it. That will give us I squared 15 over 3. This is plus and that's minus. That's the first set from the first quantity. On the next one here, we have only 3x squared minus 5 is equal to 0. So I'm going to move the negative 5 to the other side. That makes it 3x squared is equal to 5. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X squared is equal to 5 over 3. Take the square root. That gives you a square of 5 over square of 3. Multiply it by square of 3 times square of 3. So the answer is square root of 15 over 3 plus and minus. So the answer are the square root of 15 over 3 and positive, negative I square 15 over 3. Okay? And that's how you solve and factor a polynomial. As always, kaboom.